Today, we're breaking down all the news in WWE 2K26's GM mode and Universe mode, including new screenshots, promos, Money in the Bank cash-in system, and Universe mode wizard, plus so much more. And before we get into the exact details, including the new draft system, make sure you leave a like on the video, and if you like wrestling content like this, subscribe to the channel. Starting off with GM mode, we have a screenshot of the draft, and now what's new here is you can see that you can now sort the players by the ring level to see if like Randy Orton, CM Punk, Shinsuke at level 20, going out on the 15s, and going down from there. So just a new way to decide who you want to have on your roster and decide who you don't want to have on your roster. Next is all the GMs you can be, including 3 new GMs. They have your Bobby Heenan, Stacy Keibler, and the new anonymous GM. So there's 20 different ones, including Adam Pearce, Nick Aldis, Paul Heyman, Stephanie McMahon, Xavier Woods, Tyler Breeze, Eric Bischoff, Mick Foley, William Regal, Teddy Long, Bobby Heenan's new, Ava, Shawn Michaels, Sensational Sherry, Miss Elizabeth, Stacy Keibler, Mr. Fuji, CM Punk, the new GM, and the custom GM. We have something new called Invasion promos. It says you can send a star to attack an opposing brand in an attempt to steal some of their fans. The amount of fans stolen is based on superstars' promo levels. A good promo will net you fans. A bad promo will make your brand look bad and potentially cause you to lose fans. So example here is they sent Randy Orton and he had a good promo, so that SmackDown ended up losing 500 fans and then Raw ended up gaining 500 fans. It's always nice to have more options to do in your promos, not just like call someone out or just like self-promote. So to kind of go and actually like take away from other people's brands and run the risk of maybe losing your own fans, so you have to send someone with a good promo, or you could use that promo to help build someone's promo. It just adds another element, another layer to the game that I really do enjoy. We also have some new premium live events with a larger cross-brand premium live event supporting 6 and 8-way matches. The list of premium live events for this year includes Backlash, Clash of Paris, Crown Jewel, Hell in a Cell, Money in the Bank, Battleground, Evolution, Great American Bash, Halloween Havoc, Night of Champions, No Mercy, Worlds Collide, Survivor Series War Games, SummerSlam, Elimination Chamber, and WrestleMania. With how many premium live events they have in real life, it just makes sense they're adding more and more to it, so I'm very excited to see this in here. Next, it's confirmed that MyGM will support intergender matches. We have here that Nia Jax is taking on R-Truth. They've done this in the actual like play now and any sort of mode you can do intergender matches, but now it's going to be officially in MyGM. Just some other cool ways you used to have in the old games, so now you can kind of build up new stars. So if you don't have 2 women wrestlers you want to put in there, you could have Nia Jax take on R-Truth. Just more in line with the features they've added last year and kind of getting across all the modes. We have the new double booking feature, meaning players can now have a superstar cut a promo and still be put in a match. If a superstar is double booked in a match and a promo and injured before the promo is scheduled, the promo will be canceled and the effects voided. So here you can see that Roman Reigns is sent to invade the other show, I'm guessing SmackDown, but he's also supposed to wrestle in a 3 Stages of Hell main event against Rusev. That could not be the case in the other games. It had to be simply just, if you're going to cut a promo, you can't wrestle. If you're wrestling, you can't cut a promo. So it is kind of cool that, let's say we had Roman Reigns here or let's just do this. We have R-Truth here in the opening match, but he's going to cut a promo right here where Randy Orton is. If R-Truth gets hurt in his opening match, this promo here with R-Truth would get cut, and you're going to lose any effects of, invasion, any effects of a call out, TV advertising, any of that would not take place, and your show would suffer a little bit for it. So a little more realistic. If you're hurt in a match, you're not going to be on the card later on. So the ability to double book is not only is it very much needed, it is game changing. So now you can actually have your stars be real stars, and if you're running low on people, you can kind of just overbook your players. So I'm very excited with this feature. Getting into the settings, the default setting for MyGM is now 50 weeks. It says new mid-season push. After week 25, so halfway of each season, each brand will have the chance to select up to 8 superstars from their roster to boost both their stamina and morale. So kind of give like a if you're going from like a WrestleMania to SummerSlam to WrestleMania, you kind of have new stories you want to tell. So you can kind of choose 6 people from the halfway point that's going to be your kind of main focus, or you have people that are at the bottom of the card kind of get boosted up to the mid card. That way all your matches are kind of flowing, kind of high overall, high ratings. This is a really nice element, a really nice strategic element you have to have, where do you want your stars to be extra stars, you want all your top cards to be like 5-star matches, or do you want to have maybe like 3-star matches across the entire board? Something you can kind of play around with, something that you can do, some replayability of maybe season 1, I want to have my stars be stars. Season 2, I want my mid card to be more of a higher card. A nice little way to give you a boost where it's not the same thing for all 50 weeks. Other new additions to MyGM this year include new superstar shakeups, new slammies, commissioner goals, emails, power cards, tweets, superstar perks, revised logistics unlocks. Required number of superstars to draft has been slightly increased. The timer ticking noise at specific intervals has been shortened, and tuning for all of the above. MyGM is one of my my favorite features back in like the old SmackDown vs. Raws, but since it got added back in like 2K23, I believe, it could be wrong on that, it hasn't been my favorite. It's felt very repetitive. It's felt very like a shell of what it used to be. And with all these new features and love it's getting, it makes me really curious to see how it's going to actually play. I love that it's getting the attention, because a lot of times 2K and like EA Sports, they don't put a lot of love into modes that don't make them money, and this is one of those modes, so I'm glad to see it's getting a lot of love and a lot of updates on it. But now getting into the main event, getting into Universe mode, here we're talking about the Universe Wizard. It's a new feature. It says designed to help make setup to Universe mode much easier. Quote on the side here, it helps new players quickly start Universe mode in Classic or Superstar mode, lets you set up shows, premium live events, rosters, and championships easily. You can also add custom shows and titles, and everything is done through a simple and streamlined menu. Now the quote on the screen says, if all that sounds a bit much, Universe Wizard is here to help, which Crystal describes, one of the developers, as an attempt to, quote, try and ease players into what can be a daunting process of starting a new game, whether that's in Classic or Superstar mode. The feature lets you easily set everything else up, so I'm very excited to see what this actually looks like. I haven't seen any screenshots of it, but if it helps start Universe mode much better, then I'm all here for it. Now getting into the specific details, that's what's new in Universe mode. We have the new promo ways in Universe mode. Could turn face, you could turn heel, you could even change your division. That last part's really cool. So it used to be kind of just like a call out, I can have a match, I can have an open challenge, but now going from face to heel, that's really cool, or vice versa, is really cool. And the ability to change divisions, where I'm a United States challenger, but now I want to challenge for the main, I want to challenge the World Heavyweight Championship. That's nice, that ability to do that. It says we have new post-match drama regarding promos and matches. I'm going to assume this is about more cutscenes, so it's always going to be cool to have more love in there. For Create an Arena, it has the LED board support, more customizations for announce tables and rings, and then for Create a Championship, they've added more stuff and they've refreshed and updated it. The LED ring boards is really cool, so I'm excited to see what the community is going to come up with, especially if you have, if it comes out by, WrestleMania 42, get a new arena, or you want to update the new SummerSlam, just any more love for the creator wrestlers and create a championship and all this sort of creation suite is just going to make the game so much more replayable and a lot longer shelf life. For Money in the Bank cash-ins, this has been bothering me for years and years, but it says there's a new Money in the Bank cash-in instance for Universe. While you're spectating or playing, you'll have the prompt that shows up on your screen where you can cash in when a superstar is downed or distracted. It could make it a triple threat, like we saw with Rollins, Reigns, and Lesnar back at WrestleMania 31. It could be just like I cash in and now I'm just gonna one-on-one match. It could be that after the match I cash in. It could be maybe I come down there and distract him and then he loses the match and I cash in on the winner, stuff like that. Universe mode has never really had a good Money in the Bank cash-in system for me. I've never really been able to get it working right, so the fact that they're making this a focal point is really intriguing to me and makes me really excited for it. Getting into the draft for Universe mode, this is a feature they're really touting as its own little section on the menu. So it says for how the draft, it's its own event that can set up to a maximum of 8 drafts in Universe mode. So if you want to have one after every other month, you can do that. The drafts are a week-long event, so I'm guessing if you just have Raw and SmackDown, half it will be on Raw, half will be on SmackDown. You choose 2 participating shows, so it can't have like 3 people. You can add a supplemental show like NXT, that way you're just taking from NXT, but they can't take from you. You can now customize how many rounds you have in a draft. You'll be able to draft free agents, split up teams, or draft teams and also draft champions. So if I want to draft just Otis from Alpha Academy, I can do that, or I can take both Alpha Academy, like Otis and Tozawa. You can also draft champions. I can draft Roman Reigns, my show, if he has a belt. You couldn't do that in the past. You can now assign general managers to your shows. I'm super excited for this because I've always had to have it in my head. I can do this, but I can't really ever have it actually in game. But now you can actually assign general managers, and they're going to come out, and I have a screenshot of this in a little bit. But they'll come out to the stage, and it says they're going to shake hands and have a podium, and there's going to be picture-in-picture for the draft. And they're really giving us a lot of love, which is cool because they don't really do a lot of love for the draft in real life. So it just makes my life a lot easier because I like to do a draft after every single year to really check up their rosters. The fact that it's going to be in game and I can set up to 8 drafts and how many rounds, I could do just like a 1-round draft for each pay-per-view. So it means a lot of cool stuff. It's going to give Universe mode a lot more customization and a lot more freedom. Here they say that the developer says there is more surprise in Universe mode that they're not going to reveal. You have to figure out yourself. I'm always about that. I want you to reveal some stuff. Give me enough to pre-order, but don't tell me absolutely everything. I want to be able to unlock stuff. I want to be able to find stuff and have a cutscene that I haven't seen before. I want to find that stuff for myself. So I'm glad they're not showing absolutely everything. This is really cool. It says if you start a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam in the day and halfway through the show, it's going to turn into night because those events are super long, so they're always like outdoors. So if you're starting WrestleMania and it's nighttime, or sorry, it's daytime, and as the matches go on, your main event is going to be in a nighttime environment. Again, it's just adding to the realism. It's just adding to the lighting. That way, all your matches don't look the exact same. They're not all at night. Having the day matches, like I said, for WrestleMania 31, when you have Seth Rollins and Randy Orton, that's in the sunlight. But then at the end, when Seth Rollins cashes in, it's at nighttime. It's just really cool stuff they're adding. So I'm glad it's getting all this love. Here is a picture of the draft when NXT drafted on there. So you have like Seth Rollins, get Bronson Reed. This new screen, it isn't really new. It's just simply the screen from like GM mode is just now in universe mode. On community creations, it says the Switch 2 and PC will both have their own community creations, so you're not able to download from the Xbox or PS5. I don't understand the logistics behind it, but it's not for me to know. It feels simple enough to make it all in one, but if technically they're limited to it, it's not the end of the world for me. I have PS5, so I'll be able to have all the cool stuff, but it does suck. I feel like a good creator on PC, so maybe in the future we'll get that. This is the picture from universe mode. It says not GM mode. You have the GMs that were assigned to each brand. They're going to come out with the drafts, and there's going to be podiums right here. They're going to go through and one-on-one announce which superstars are going to get drafted to each roster. For promos, this is huge. It said when champions are cutting promos in universe mode, they will have the championship in one hand and the microphone on the other. That has been a requested feature for so long. It's really frustrating. You have your world heavyweight champion come out and he's just holding the microphone with no belt. Like, you're my champion, bring the belt with you. It's what we see on television. You don't ever see a champion without their title, so it's nice we're finally getting them to finally have their belt and a microphone. It just makes it look so much cooler. For promos still, it says in universe mode, additional promo types include post-match interviews with Kathy Kelly after one-on-one matches. That's super cool. In-ring interviews, maybe you go to the back and do it, so you can kind of talk about the match you've had. You can kind of give yourself a little shout out. You can call someone else out, sell out new rivalries. I keep saying it, but I'm glad it's getting all this love because this is what you see on television. This is what you do to tell stories, and I'm glad we're finally getting the option to do this in game. Some people don't like this one about show intros. It says there's no show intros in universe mode unless you're on spectator mode. So the show intros is like the the intro to Raw. You have like the fireworks and the pyro and all this kind of stuff. For me, I always turn it off, but it does suck that that's not an option anymore. You have to be spectating in order to do it. This one I reported on a couple of videos ago that Worlds Collide was confirmed that AAA is going to be coming to the game. So Worlds Collide, the arena will be at least in GM mode. It will be playable everywhere else, but it's one of the arenas you can have, and that more AAA content like maybe Mr. Iguana will be coming to the game later on. This is probably the biggest change I've seen all day for me. It says you can reset historical records in universe mode. What I mean by this is that if I have, the World Heavyweight Championship and I have, CM Punk wins it, it's going to say he's now a 2-time champion. But in my universe mode, he really hasn't been. So I can kind of treat it like either a continuation of WWE, where if John Cena wins, he's now an 18-time champion, or I can have it just reset, where if John Cena wins the World Heavyweight Championship, he is a 1-time champion. That way it's all just unique to my universe mode. I get doing both things, but for me, I love having my own stats. I love saying that, if CM Punk wins the United States champion, he's now like the first time. This is his total reigns. If Seth Rollins is an Intercontinental champion, his other ones don't, not that they don't count, it's just I don't want to see the stats for that. I want to see my stats for my universe mode only. So this is awesome. This right now would be enough for me to pre-order the game. I love stats. I love statistics, and I love being able to have just my own statistics and not, prerequisites. This, I believe, is going for promos. It says you are now able to challenge for a title or declare yourself number contender. So it could be like that one-on-one interview afterwards. You could be Penta and defeat Rey Mysterio and just get in the interview and say, listen, I've earned it. I want to challenge the championship. Or I can say, listen, I've earned it. I'm the number contender. At the pay-per-view, I'm going to challenge the title. And finally, another confirmation again for the universe draft. You can have up to 8 drafts within a single universe saved file. So maybe it's going to be only 8 total. So it'd be like 8 years and then it's over. But let me know in the comment section below what feature you're most excited for. For me, it has to be the historical records being able to be reset. I just love that. I'm glad to finally make it into the game. But let me know in the comment section what you're most excited for. And before you leave the video, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more.